The year was 1954. With their sturdy, broken-down microphones, they were headed for greatness in the American West. Jack and Ron in the morning. If you don't laugh like this, you're probably normal.
The following entertainment special contains mature subject matter. Parents may consider some of the program content unsuitable for children. Parental discretion is advised.
It's the bad boys of radio. Here's Jack and Ron.
Hey, we've arrived. We're ready to go here at Othello's Italian Restaurant in Edmond, right here in historic downtown Edmond. We're located right in the bowels of downtown Edmond. So feel free to sometime check out Othello's Italian Restaurant, located here in Edmond. They also have one on Campus Corner in Norman. Great Italian food. They open each and every day at 4 p.m. And we're here ready to do what we do each week, which is totally make a mess and turn everything upside down and cause pure chaos. Jack Dam Elliott, Ron Dam Williams, also on board Richard, our producer, who sets up all the gear and does all the tech side of it. So if you ever have a problem with the technical aspect of the program, be sure to give Richard a holler.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe something at your own home that you can't fix. You don't know why something is happening. This guy knows everything.
Contact Richard.
Everything.
I think he knows heat and air, a little bit of electric, plumbing. You got a leaky faucet, give that guy a shout.
Yeah.
He's the one to handle it for sure. Anyway, we've got a lot of things to cover here today. We've got so much stuff to cover, like news of the I'll Be Damned, sleazy, trashy showbiz report. We've got Roy the Movie Guy. Let me say, dumbass joke of the day, Tri-Bond. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Asinine trivia and more.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that happened recently. For those of you who already know, the Pope, of course, has passed. We had big celebrations, or not celebrations, but remembrances from the Murrah Federal Building bombing. And, of course, there was WrestleMania for 2 days. 2 days actual WrestleMania. The whole thing took about, 4 days? 4 or 5 days. So
it's like it gets longer and longer every year.
Yeah, well, they keep making more and more money.
They keep milking it for all the cash they can get. I don't blame them.
Yeah, this guy Triple H was talking about it, saying how Vegas really went out of their way to get them to come there. And it seems that they get bids from different people, organizations for WrestleMania to come there because they know they're going to bring a lot of people. I think in that arena, they had a total of 164,000 people over those 2 days. And I said 164,000 at Vegas. At
quite
how
a
much
few
are these
people.
Tickets? Yeah. So
it's like, with WrestleMania coming to town, it really improves the economy to some degree. Kind of like the Thunder playing in the playoffs yesterday. Wow. They annihilated Memphis.
Was that a spanking or was that a... They had to bring the ball boy out. Look, my hands are tired. You spank them for a little while. Jeez,
I was waiting for the players' girlfriends or wives to fill in, to come off the bench. They were just tearing Memphis apart. We'll see how Game 2 goes tomorrow night. Meanwhile, we also have to mention the fact that this program is brought to you in part by Jack Attack Clean and Shine, the one and only vehicle you need for your one and only cleaner you need for your vehicle. Takes care of your interior, your exterior. The shine it puts on your paint is unbelievable, and it has a great ability to clean smudges, bugs, whatever. And you can use it on plastic, the paint, chrome, aluminum, plexiglass, vinyl, leather,
man.
all that. So go to shopjackattack.com, shopjackattack.com, and get yourself a bottle.
All right. Don't forget to... For those of you planning a final journey, and if you're not, you should, because you will be taking it. No problem there. This is one thing you don't have to guess about. Well, what you need to do is to make sure that your final journey is the way you want it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. That is, my friend, Howard Harris Funeral Services. They will handle all of, if you're a veteran, this is good news for you. They will handle all of your veteran documents and everything that you will need for your final journey. They will handle it if you are a veteran. And even if you're not, you can still get that peace of mind while you're in the calm of life. You can preserve your independence. We'll tell you all about it, the things that they can do for you to make sure that your final wishes are honored. That's Howard Harris Funeral Services. We'll be telling you all about that in just a bit.
All right. Meanwhile, we've got to get right to the point. What is the point? Too Tough Trivia. We hit you with it each and every week at the outset of the program, and then at the end of the program, just before we wrap up, we give you the answer, because usually the answer is not too easy to come up with. That's why it's called Too Tough Trivia.
Congratulations to our producer Richard last week. Who just he slapped it out of the park.
He did.
Yeah, he pinched his nipple and said, "Yes, I am that good."
Yep.
Confidence.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's see about this one.
All right, here we go.
This person holds the record for the longest amount of time between their first and last #1 hit. Who is it? That is, they had a #1 hit and then didn't have another one until another time. The longest.
Cher.
Yeah.
No way. I'm right?
You're right.
Holy
Jack, we're on a roll.
man, I know.
One is I Got You, Babe, back in 1965.
With Sonny, her
And-
husband at the time.
And Believe.
Do you believe in life after love?
Which is
When was that?
33 and a half years later.
Was that in the 90s?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Wasn't that in the 90s? Yeah.
Well, you were just a kid in the 90s, man. You're a young man.
Some good times, though.
Yeah.
Here's the really sad part about it. Ron and I probably played
Don't
that
say it,
first
don't
one
say it.
as a current record and played the last one as a current record. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Job,
go.
Jack. That was
I can't
quick.
believe I nailed
That
that.
was quick. Was Cher just the only name you had in your
Only
head?
name that came to my
Wow.
mind. Yeah.
I
Good
couldn't
job.
think of anybody that, at first I was thinking about Elton John, but Elton John,
He had a lot of hits, yeah.
That was in the 70s, though, mainly when he was.
Yeah.
When he
And
was,
the only other thing that popped in mind before Cher was momentarily the Bee Gees, but they had hits, and I believe #1 hits in 4 decades. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
So there wasn't no huge time.
No, it wasn't like long span of time between.
Ron,
Yeah.
Well,
I will
I
say
have-
this: your training has really sharpened me and Jack's wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm starting to get just a little scared. All right, I have another one.
All right, we got
I
another one.
anticipated, these two little smarty pantses doing this. All right, the big Trevi Fountain in Rome, the big giant one they have in a lot of the motion pictures and stuff like
Sure.
that. People always
Sure.
Yeah.
People
Sure.
are always throwing money in
I always
it,
throw pennies
to
in
ma-
there
to
when I
make
go.
to
Yeah.
make a wish. About how much change do they get out of that bad boy in a
Ooh.
year?
A year?
In a year?
In a year. How much change?
Total amount. I'm going to say,
I'd say 174,000.
I bet you're close. I'm going to say 250,000.
We'll let you know, because these two answers are wrong at the end of
Are we
this
close?
particular show.
Are we close? Is it in the 100,000s?
Well, it probably is,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Well, no, wait.
I
Now,
wouldn't-
here you go again.
I wouldn't think it'd be in multi-millions amount, but I would think in the hundreds of thousands. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it's a chunk, and
It's a chunk.
and we'll discuss this at the end of this particular program. Those two answers, by the way, are incorrect. Again, my hat's off to Jack. That is dynamite, man. I don't know if I would have been able to go ahead and do that. When you think about the 60s and all the way up to now, yeah. That's crazy.
It was just a crapshoot, but I mean, I got it. Her name was really the most prominent one in my mind because she's still performing too, and so it's been a long time. But anyway, we got through that, and about time to do asinine trivia. But I wanted to remind you guys, take this podcast and share it with everybody you know.
Woo,
If you're
glad
wa-
you said that. It sounded like you were about to say something else.
Take this damn podcast and share it with everybody you know.
Thank you very much.
Share it to all the other friends. So we're on Facebook. Are we also on TikTok today?
We're on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, Facebook and YouTube. All right.
We'll be
So
on TikTok at the second half of the show.
second half of the show, we are joined by the YouTubers. Okay. Why are we on YouTube second? I'm just always curious.
You know what? I think that's good too. Well, wow. How many people are saying why?
Yeah. How many other people are saying?
So what is the question? Why are we on YouTube?
Why?
Well,
no.
the second half.
Yeah, we're on
can't we get the
Facebook.
whole show?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, on
For the whole
TikTok.
show. Uh-huh.
We're on TikTok. No, we're on Facebook and YouTube for the whole show.
Uh-huh.
But we're only on TikTok the second half. What's the story there?
So This is all just because I was just trying something new.
Oh,
Super long story short. That's the real reason.
okay.
Yeah.
You're trying some new.
Kind of, sort of. Well,
Technical.
the issue is that I can't stream the show on TikTok anymore like I normally do on Facebook and YouTube anymore because of the violations we've received. We've been banned in a sense on TikTok to stream through the computer. So the only way I can stream through TikTok now is through the phone. That's why I be having the phone pop up.
Why is
through a second-
TikTok? Why
They're a bunch of babies, man.
Yeah, what a bunch of wimps. I thought
They should be
TikTok
happy
was.
they even have a TikTok the way things
Who
are
you
going.
telling, man?
I thought TikTok was supposed to be an advanced, very progressive-minded operation. I had
They're
no idea.
sensitive, though. They're sensitive.
Ultra
It's-
sensitive.
And,
So-
and remember, the one person who's trying, they're keeping it a secret, but the one person who is trying to buy still TikTok,
Elon Musk? No?
Elon's buddy,
Larry?
Trump.
Oh,
Trump?
Trumpy.
Oh, Trump's trying to buy it. Yeah, that's right.
He already has that, whether Truth Social or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not as big as TikTok. And
Oh, no.
they're trying to get some money together. And that's who's trying. So that means they will have Twitter or X, as the case may be, and TikTok. Will we know what to believe anymore?
Yeah, they'll be owning that social media.
We already
All
know
right.
Mark is all up there, Mark is all about their group too.
Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
He's all.
He
No,
kicks
yeah,
it with them. Yeah, you
Facebook
forgot.
and all that.
He's
Yeah.
all part of that.
Facebook, Instagram,
You know what?
WhatsApp.
It gets to a point, folks, where I'm serious. You just don't know what to believe anymore. And how do you fact check?
It gets to the point where you realize Monopoly was very, very ahead of its time when it first dropped.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very true.
Because this sucks, man. I don't like it, and unless I can actually see somebody talking, or if I can see the incident they're speaking of, or whatever.
And hope that it's not AI.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the other problem.
Oh yeah. My son was telling me about AI, and he says, a lot of the stuff you see on Facebook where they're talking and they're just, and you can tell every once in a while where they mispronounce a word.
Mm-hmm.
He said that all that's AI. That whole thing is AI.
60 Minutes did a great piece on AI last night, an extensive piece, and it's got to the point where my wife was saying, we're going to be obsolete, we as human beings, because the robotics and all the other things involved with AI are just going to really control and actually do almost everything. So anyway,
I cannot disagree with her.
well, we got to get to asinine
Yeah,
trivia.
Yeah. Right now, I have such deep respect for both of you.
Thank you.
Richard from last week, and
Thank you.
You this
Me
week.
for hitting share out of the park. Yeah.
So,
All right,
yeah,
now.
right
Be on
our
Jeopardy.
man.
Yeah, be on Jeopardy. I wouldn't make it past round one on Jeopardy.
You gotta have faith, Jack.
Here we go. Asinine trivia. Trivia so easy, it's asinine. Who do we query? We query Richard, our producer. We hit him with 3 big asinine trivia questions. Question 1, Richard. What is the first thing you should do after using the toilet?
It's funny you say that.
I know. After
You should wash your ass.
do what?
You should wash your ass.
Oh no!
Or
no,
flush
no.
the toilet.
Flush the toilet. There you
So
go.
let me go in detail real quick because this is funny. When you mentioned earlier saying that Richard can do like blah 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 if you got any home issues. So this past week I decided my wife had wanted a bidet for the longest.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you did.
So I went ahead and installed a full-fledged bidet in the house. Super simple, but there was a leak because we got old pipes and whatnot, and I had to fix the leak. So that's what made me say, "Wash your ass," because the bidet.
Because
has
of
taught
bidet,
me
yeah.
I got to wash my ass.
Yeah.
All right, well.
you've used it already, correct?
Yeah, I had to test it out.
All right. Now, is that water? I mean, is it a real strong stream? Because let's face it, some folks what they eat. They
I'll say this: the one we got, it was probably like $80, and it's you have to.
Is it handheld?
No. It, like this little thing drops down and it shoots water right where you're,
Yeah.
right where the hole is.
Oh, my.
Do you have to,
If
you have
got-
to move
if you got a
around just to
vagina-
make sure the aim is right?
The aim was surprisingly pretty.
I was about to say,
it
'cause
was scary on point. But I will say this: it has like a lever that you kind of like pull as far as much pressure you want.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not like you push a button and just like off in you. It's like
And shoot you against the wall.
So
or
it's
nothing
adjustable.
Like that. Yeah.
it's adjustable and it got
All right.
heat and cold, and the heat doesn't make it feel as aggressive.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, do you sit there till you dry off or what?
No, I still get like some toilet paper and dry off the ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's
okay.
not, but it does feel.
See, this is the
you feel-
kind
you
of
feel cleaner. You do.
this is one of the subject matters that we'd be kicked off of TikTok for discussing.
Of course,
So
of course.
that's why we hold off on TikTok till the second half of the show.
Good. You know what? Now, folks,
And I'll say this, like even
Yeah.
to harp on it a little bit more, my son made a good point. My 6-year-old son was like, "This makes sense, Dad, because after I poop, I wash my hands with water. Why wouldn't I wash my hand, or why wouldn't I wash my butt after I poop?"
Good point.
I was
Smart,
like,
smart
you're
man.
onto something,
Smart young
boy.
man.
Man.
All right. We got to get back to asinine trivia here.
Asinine.
That was question one again was, what's the first thing you do or should do after using the toilet? The answer is flush. Question two. This will be a lot easier. Where would you most likely buy a Big Mac?
McDonald's.
You got it.
I don't know why I wanted to say Burger King.
No.
It's the Whopper.
It's always fun, though, to go to the Burger King drive-thru and order a Big Mac or go to McDonald's and order a Whopper. Here we go. Question three. Question number three. Name the two guys who've won more broadcast awards than any other broadcasters in Oklahoma and who often wear bikini thong underwear while going down the water slide at O'Connor Resort while sipping a pina colada and taking pictures of each other with their cell phones and singing Drop Kick Me Jesus Through the Goalpost of Life, and who also performed the #1 video podcast in America.
Jack and Ron.
You got it. Wow.
You guys been down there yet? The O'Connor area?
I haven't been to the resort, have you?
Mm-hmm.
How is it?
It's overpriced, but it's overpriced because it's not done.
Oh,
it's
it's
not?
not
No,
done.
they're still doing a lot of construction down there.
Oh,
wow.
man, I mean,
But there's
you
a lot
watch
that is
television
done.
and you get the idea.
No,
that
there's
everybody,
They got some-
everybody.
They got
come
some
on.
really, really cool plans, but it's just different phases.
Still a work in
Yeah, it's still a work in
progress.
progress. But
Yeah,
it's
the
pretty-
thing
it's
is
pretty
that
nice.
it's like $40 a person, right, to do the water slide park. I think it's $40.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think something like that.
But that $40 handles all the slides.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Are all the water slides done?
yeah.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
that portion of it, most of that is done. I think they're planning on adding like a part outside where it's going to be like a beach.
I
It's
got
going to
you.
really be cool.
And it's a little too chilly right now still to do the outdoor thing yet
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean they're working on it right
Right.
now, but yeah, it's supposed to be like 3-4 years before they're
All right.
completely
All right.
done with everything.
Well, I know a couple of people that won't wait that long. It's Mike Lauderdale. He says, "Howdy, guys."
Oh, wow. Well, you got people on there, huh?
Yeah, and,
I can't get anybody to show up on my Facebook page.
Well, I got Curtis Tucker over here as well. Says,
Wow.
"What's up, dudes?
don't
Hello
even have
from
comments?
Enid."
Oh, I do have Mike Lauderdale and Curtis now.
there you
Well,
go.
so you should at least have comments.
Yeah. Yeah, I have Lauderdale. Howdy, guys. Curtis Tucker says, what's up,
You
dudes?
probably don't see it because you haven't shared it yet.
He says, hello from Enid. Yeah, I'm going to share it right here and now as I do each and every week. I've just shared it to my Facebook page from the Jack and Ron. There you go. All right, I got a couple of things I wanted to cover real quick. This is interesting. A guy named Guy Gordon. Guy Gordon, morning voice at Cumulus Media's News Talk 760 in Detroit.
Guy Gordon. I was thinking about Gary Gordon.
No.
You almost said it. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
Guy Gordon at WJR Detroit,
Yes, sir.
he's been let go. Yeah, from
Really?
Cumulus Media.
Oh no,
Yeah, here's what the story.
they still doing that stuff. They still
Hard to
firing
believe
people.
Cumulus continues to just roll people off the air. Guy Gordon on the morning show, was reportedly asked to take a 60% pay cut and then switch from mornings to afternoons. He says, I was told it was purely financial. He said farewell at the end of his show last Tuesday, thanking listeners and colleagues, calling WJR Radio the finest radio station in America. Well,
You hadn't been here, but go ahead.
but anyway, he earlier told reporters that he had no inkling his job was at risk, but he wasn't one to complain. He says, I forfeited the right to complain about my career somewhere around the late 1990s. I've been blessed. Clearly, the business community is in turmoil, according to Gordon. There's tons of uncertainty. The automotive industry doesn't know what's coming next, and Cumulus has let him go.
Automotive industry.
Yeah, he's talking about everything. So, at any rate, this guy, much like Jack and Ron, were released by Cumulus under the guise of, well, guys, remember when they came to us and told us first off, this was years before they let us go. everybody's got to take a pay cut. Everybody, guys, you're going to have to take a pay cut. I'm like, oh, my God, everybody? Yeah, so Ron gets a pay cut, I get a pay cut, and they were significant pay cuts. But we wanted to continue working, so we did that. What was interesting is later I was visiting with Al Ashback, who's still over there doing the sports thing, and I told Al, I said, man, it was really a drag. We all had to take a pay cut. He goes, pay cut? I didn't take a pay cut. I won't take a pay cut. I said, didn't they talk to you about it? No, they didn't even talk to me about it. I thought, well, gee, I can't imagine management having lied to us. Can you? Holy.
Really?
Yeah.
I can.
I just can't believe
clear
that.
as day to me, especially
Well, how about this guy?
with what they used to get us to switch from
Yeah.
where we were to the other channel,
Yeah.
and then all the things that we were supposed to have,
All
to
the
help
promises.
us, to promote it,
Yeah.
never came true.
Well, how about this guy? He left. He just said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm not taking a 60% pay cut." I kind of. Do you think the
60%?
CEO? Do you think the CEO of that company, Cumulus Media? Do you think Mary Berner's taking a 60% pay cut? Hell no.
Not until they go into bankruptcy.
Yeah. Well, they've done that
again.
already. Again, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the excuse they gave us. They filed bankruptcy, and 30 days later they came to us and said. And I remember saying to the management, "Oh, what did we do wrong? What did I do wrong?" Nothing. You were a perfect gentleman. You did everything we asked. Well, then why am I being? Well, it's a corporate decision. It has to do with the finances and the budgets and.
Then there's other stuff. Well, your numbers. Well, the numbers are fine.
Yeah.
The numbers are fine. And
and this,
that, and the other.
And the bibbity bibbity bobbity boop.
And whatever we tell you, please don't fact check us, okay?
I love it. Yeah. So anyway, I felt bad for Guy Gordon being put in the same situation as us, being released. I thought this was interesting too. There was a list of things. They did a survey asking people, what is something you'd never buy, even if it was discounted 99%? One of the things that people said they'd never buy into was a get-rich-quick scheme or course. They've got those get-rich-quick courses online. And they say they certainly wouldn't buy it from somebody who's a 20-something on TikTok with a Lamborghini in the background. They always do that. Some young kid, he's like, yeah, if you sign up for this program today, I'll drop the price from $150 to $99, and you'll be rich like me. Look at my car. He's got a Rolls Royce parked there, whatever. Okay, here's a couple other things people said they would never buy, even if reduced 99%. Gas station sushi. I would never buy gas station. A boat. People say there's way too much maintenance and monthly cost when it comes to a boat. People also said black licorice. They'd never buy black licorice, even if it was discounted that much. Here's the other one that I thought was interesting. People say 99% discount. I still will not buy an OnlyFans subscription. OnlyFans subscription. Is that where ladies are in lingerie or something?
Well, and I thought, I guess I should ask Richard this. I thought they go beyond just the bikinis and stuff like that. That there's actual nudity and maybe some male-female activity.
Oh my!
OnlyFans is a place where content creators can create exclusive content for their fans at a price.
Whoa, man! You said that like you memorized it.
Holy cow!
Yeah. Some of this content may be not suitable for other social media platforms.
Oh, okay.
Wow! There you go.
Yeah,
well,
that's.
You do know.
Yeah, and I've heard of some individuals, some ladies, getting on that OnlyFans.
They make money.
One made over $1 million.
Yeah,
bunch of money to be
what's
made.
that one girl? Catch Me Outside girl.
Who?
That.
Oh yeah, from Dr.
Her
Phil.
name? I can't remember her name.
From
Something.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah. She's like one of the top OnlyFans payers. She's like
wow,
yeah,
big money,
It's
big
big
money.
money.
All right, I
Chris
got it.
M on YouTube said I would never try to buy a STD.
Who sells
I like how
STD?
he said I would never try.
I never tried to buy an STD.
You might go somewhere and drop some money. You might wind up with the STD, but you didn't try to pay for it.
That was just a sidebar. That was just an extra benefit to the service you received. All right, I got a couple more real quick, and I'll let it run. But 99%. If it was discounted 99%, people would never buy Crocs. Those that footwear, Crocs. I've never owned a pair of those. Another thing they'd never buy, last one, used underwear. Now, that one I totally understand.
Well, who was wearing it?
Well, I like that.
Oh, jeez.
Do you want me to talk about the most overpriced menu items? That's another thing I've got a list of.
Go for it.
Let me go for that. People say the most overpriced items on a menu, chips and salsa. They say many of the Mexican restaurants give it to you free.
Yeah.
As part of. But if you go to a restaurant that's not necessarily a Mexican restaurant, they have it on their appetizer list. They might charge $7, $8, $10 for something they give to you free at a Mexican
They
restaurant.
can charge all they want. I'm not buying.
That's what they say. Most overpriced menu items. And also, a couple other things. Simple sandwiches like peanut butter and jelly or just grilled cheese. They say they can be made for next to nothing, but you'll probably pay a fairly premium price. And the other thing they said was pancakes. In your own kitchen, you can make pancakes for pennies on the dollar. So why are you spending $15 for pancakes at a restaurant?
Well, they bring it to you, and then you can gripe about it. I want my syrup warm, please. And could I have some heated butter?
Ooh, nice.
you can have that
I will
too.
say this. You know, part of the
Peanut butter is pretty good.
It is. Part of the Othello's restaurant family is the Around the Corner breakfast restaurant, which is basically almost right next door here in Edmond to the Othello's. I went there for breakfast. See, my wife and I went like last weekend. You talk about good prices. Holy crap. I don't know how they manage to keep the prices down. Like you can get, like an omelet with hash browns and a biscuit and gravy, like $10. It's like they really do a good job.
Well, I want to thank both you and Richard because I went to a restaurant we talked about last week.
Oh.
And that's Hatch.
Oh, yeah, Hatch.
How did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's pretty good, isn't
Which
it?
one did you go to? The one
I
on
got
Chisholm?
Yeah, I got the pancake shaped like Oklahoma.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
And
I never got that one. That's interesting. Is it big?
Yeah,
Huge.
Yeah, with bacon bits and pecans.
Oh,
sprinkled
my.
all over it.
Nasty.
And,
Man, they went crazy
and,
on you.
And then I was looking. I said, "Well, I'd like to have an egg. Okay, $3.
Mm.
It's an egg,
Not
yeah.
a dozen. I just want one.
Just
one.
Or just one egg, and it's
Sounds
$3.
about
Well, look at the price of eggs these days.
Yeah, but
Well, the good thing is Trump says the price of eggs is going to come down.
he said prices would go down the first day in office.
Day one.
So, yeah.
Day one.
Day
Yeah.
one.
All right. By the way, something I wanted to touch on because we do have some wrestling fans.
Oh, yeah.
2 days of WrestleMania, Gunther, the heavyweight champion, lost his title to Jay Uso. Yeah.
Poor
And-
Gunther.
And of course, Cody Rhodes lost his championship to John Cena, who I don't know, people that talk about Cena, but he says tonight he's going to make the announcement that he's going to ruin wrestling for everyone, and he's going to take the title and retire.
Yeah, I really
Oh,
wonder
wow.
I really wonder how that deal
I
went.
thought he was retired
Yeah, he
already.
was.
I mean, because he was doing all those Glad Hefty Bag commercials or whatever it is.
Well, he's doing movies.
Movies.
He's doing
every-
so much.
And well, he's that show.
He
they
doesn't
have
look
on
happy that he's back.
HBO. Yeah.
What is that HBO program?
It's Peacemaker.
Peacemaker,
And,
yeah.
that's coming back, so he'll be doing some of that. But it's no big deal because they can always bring him back and make him a hero again.
They can always bring anybody back, can't they? I mean, they've done that before. I think it's kind of cool though that somebody can go away for a while and their name is not mentioned, for a long term or whatever, and then all of a sudden, bam, who's back?
Oh yeah,
who's in charge?
You take a heel, a bad guy,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden that bad guy will do something nice, go rescue someone,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden everybody loves him. Yay!
Yeah.
So anyway, and see the ladies, their championship, tag team championships, that changed hands, and who was that? Becky Lynn and somebody else. This chick who's already the Intercontinental champ.
And Rhea didn't win, did she?
Who
no,
no?
Rhea Ripley didn't win.
No.
She got jumped.
Yeah, the
She got jumped. I like that.
Io Sky is still the women
that's
is still
right,
the women's champion, and they had some other battles, but those were the main ones that people were interested. The ones that they promoted the most. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens tonight when
Cena makes his announcement.
Yeah, Cena makes his announcement, and we'll see what else happens. The day after WrestleMania is always interesting because everybody's crying and mad, and jumping people
We'll
from
find
behind and everything else.
That's the word for the day. Jump.
Jump. I got one other quick piece of information for you. It's kind of good news, too. It's a nice little bright spot. 10-year-old girl making history at the University or Crafton Hills College in Yucaipa, California. 10 years old. She just graduated from college.
Wow.
Yeah, her name is Alyssa Perales.
How old is she now?
She's 10 years old.
Woo.
San Bernardino, California. Graduating with honors in science and math.
Wow.
Got a GPA close to 4.0. She attributes her success to enjoying learning.
I bet.
Yeah, she says, I think learning is as fun as playing outside or riding a bike.
Yeah, Mama let
She
me
probably
outside.
never did.
Yeah. Her love of learning began at the early ages of her life. Her parents, early ages of her
Yeah,
life, she's
birth.
still 10.
Birth.
Her parents told local news outlets she had moved beyond learning her basic letters and numbers by her first birth. Before she was 1 year old, 1 year old, she knew letters, numbers. By the age of 2, she was reading full books. At 5, she'd already advanced to algebra. And she was homeschooled, by the way, by her dad.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly. Is she not a member? She's not a product of the public school system
Yeah,
in this
can't be.
country.
Can't
And certainly not in Oklahoma.
Oh,
Oh.
tell me about it.
Yeah. She is not a product of the Ryan Walters public school system.
See what's next coming with. I saw a news article about him, and as what happens usually when he's on, I mute it. So what was?
I'm not sure what he's up to now.
Oh,
I just know he's doing whatever he can to get Donald Trump to recognize him and bring him into the Trump administration.
Yeah.
That's what he's really dying to do.
Donald, I tried to buy your Bible. Swear, I tried to buy your Bible and everything.
Wanted to buy thousands of them for the school
Yeah.
kids here.
And make the folks of Oklahoma pay for it.
There you go.
Wouldn't have cost you a dime.
All right, we got to get to some audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to W.D. Boucher.
Oh.
He's watching.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Well, I
wonder-
say he's watching. I'm assuming it's a he. It could be Juanita or or
Yeah, you never know.
yeah.
I don't have any new updates on personnel that are checking out my Facebook page.
Usually I'm the one that does
Yeah,
that.
I know. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. Okay. Hey, we got to get some audio. You're going to like this. Is another piece of positive information with regards to education. You might not have known this, but when you round up your change at Taco Bell, you can do that. If you're paying $1.50 and they say, would you like to round it up to the 55, whatever.
Yeah.
You can do that. Well, it helps some of their employees pay for college. Here's a girl named Crimson Price. Pretty cool name. Crimson, with her customer appreciation story. Listen to what she has to say.
I am graduating college completely debt-free because of Taco Bell. If you work there, you can apply to get a scholarship. It was, what's your name, your GPA, and then all you had to do was create a 2-minute video talking about what you would do with the money. In total, from working at Taco Bell, you only had to work 6 months. I received $40,000 just from you guys donating your change every time you go to order. Every time I'm in that Taco Bell drive-thru, I'm like, yes, I would like to round up my change.
Yeah, if you round up your change, that money goes to help students who are currently working at Taco Bell maybe better their education, get a scholarship, get their schooling paid for.
I
That's
think
pretty cool.
That is super cool, man. And it's too bad, and maybe it could happen where a lot of businesses will do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
For those employees that hang in there and they go to school, they could go ahead and get that. I think that's great. And I can understand about the change. I have, I emptied it. I had, it's about this tall, where I put change in all the time.
I do that too.
And I took it to the bank and changed it and was like, what, $400?
Wow.
$400.
That's a lot of money.
But
we got one of those
But
big
I said
5-gallon
it,
ones. I'm
yeah.
trying to
Oh,
figure
do
out.
you?
Oh, you get ready for thousands then. I went ahead and I said it real low and tried not to be excited
Yeah.
when it came up. I said, oh, okay. Here, let me hand this to, there it is. Now give me my money. Yeah, big bills. Thank you. Bye.
There you go.
Jeez.
The hell
Good
outta
deal.
here.
Yeah.
All right, we're starting to run behind, so I think we have to take a quick break. Remember, our commercials are better than any commercials you've ever seen, including those that you've witnessed on the Super Bowl. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. I promise. Stand by. Don't go away. Hey, it's Jack Elliott with Al Ashbeck at Othello's in Norman, sitting at the original table of truth.
Hey, I've said this table of truth with Barry Switzer, Brett Musburger, Bobby Knight, and Mike Leach.
So give me the real truth. What's going on?
Othello's is back in Norman with the original recipes and the great service that has made it legendary.
So you mean the original Othello's in Norman is now operated by the same family that operates Edmond?
Get that right.
Al, you have any idea how big this news is going to be to everybody?
To tell you the truth, yeah.
Come be a part of the Othello's family.
Here on Campus Corner and in downtown Edmond.
Hey Jack, BK, I need some wings. Are you guys up there?
Affirmative. Your backup is cloud-based. It's all on the cloud nowadays.
That's funny. But you guys have the wings?
Winger, Jack, winger. Winger. Hey, they had a couple of big hits back in the 80s, remember? Winger, big hair.
Great wings don't just fall from the sky. They come from Louie's, where we're preparing food fresh daily. Come try one of our great new sandwiches. Or wings with any of 7 delicious sauces. Louie's, we're in your neighborhood.
We've got this down to a science. Over. Yeah, we're just not up here winging it.
Yeah. All right. It's Jack and Ron. By the way, we got to talk to you about, your final journey, just like the Pope took his final journey. And I'm sure he had everything laid out, in fine fashion. You can do the same. I don't know if you'll have, the same type of, what would you call it, ceremony or whatever as the Pope. But you can have a pretty doggone good service if you follow the rules Ron's going to tell you about.
Let me tell you, all you need to do, and all he needed to do, and as far as I know, he may have done it, check out Howard Harris. That's Howard Harris Funeral Services.
Right.
Providing an elite with professionalism and distinction, my friend, the ability to plan your final journey yourself with a pre-need funeral package. And let me tell you, this is something that you want because you get a chance to be put away the way you want it. All you need to do is call 405-682-1883. You can get peace of mind with advanced funeral planning, sparing your loved ones the added grief and financial burdens. And let's face it, if you're going to have a hassle, let it be away from you and the hassle of that family. Well, he promised me that jacket. None of, and you're burying him in. None of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He says no. He doesn't want fried chicken for the what would they have this dinner?
Yeah,
you can none of that. And plus, here's something: if you're a veteran, Howard Harris will go ahead and handle all of your veteran documents as needed for your funeral management. And that's not all. You can arrange exactly the type of service you desire, and pre-funding eliminates the stress associated with funeral payments. Don't know what your financial situation is, but you do not pay on this plan forever. It becomes paid up, and so your final days are really, really at ease with your feet up on that little nightstand. So why don't you go ahead and give them a call right now? They also handle wills and estate planning and things of that nature. Call Audrey Howard Harris right now at area code 405-682-1883. The plans for your future final journey can begin today.
That's great because you can have an open casket, at your service. Whatever, you might want to be dressed as Superman. Maybe you want to be dressed as, Jerry Mathers as the Beaver. Or you may want to have in one hand, a bag of M&Ms. You might want to have a Kit Kat in the other. You can do all of that if you pre-decide and, set it all up in advance for your final journey.
Look what the Pope did. He will be the first Pope in over a century that is not buried at the Vatican. He is going to, I think he called it St. Mary's.
Oh, wow.
He's going to St. That's where
is he getting cremated? No, he's not getting cremated. He's just going to be buried.
Yeah. But I don't know. The first one in over a century not to be buried at the Vatican. I said, who are they going to be at St. Mary's to make sure that no one disturbs him? Nobody's trying to
good point. Good point.
But anyway, I like that. I like that Pope. I did like him.
There you go. Yeah, he was a good Pope.
Yeah.
He made it to 88 years of age. He used most of the runway. I was surprised to see that he passed away when I woke up this morning because just yesterday I saw him, like you and I talked about before we went on the air. He was actually at the Easter services there at the Vatican, and he spoke briefly to the thousands that were there.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I wake up and he's gone.
I've wondered sometimes, you see a lot of the popes, you see when they first take office, and then, as they get ready, except for the one who quit, you see, and they've gotten older and they're in a wheelchair and they're overweight, and it's like, I don't get it. I mean, don't
they have
Pope,
nutritionists and dietitians and all those
as
things?
Pope, you receive the best of everything.
Yeah.
My goodness. Anyway.
And why'd that one quit? They asked him to take a 60% pay cut. What happened there? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I think him quitting stopped the investigation.
I just want to go ahead and make mention of the fact that Jack Attack is available now at shopjackattack.com. The only cleaner your vehicle will ever need. Plastic, glass, leather, vinyl, your paint, it'll shine like never before. You go to shopjackattack.com. Get yourself a bottle of this. It's also available at a number of Goodies convenience stores. Let's see, they've got it at Boomer Express in Norman at 622 Porter. Also the Goodies at Southwest 59th in May. At Northwest 63rd in May, there's a Goodies store, the convenience store for Goodies at Edmond, Bryant, and Memorial Road. Go get you some today at one of those stores or go to shopjackattack.com.
Man, the way you're making it, I guess you will continue to do this podcast, won't you?
I might.
Okay, well.
I just might.
Right.
Let's see, what do we got here? We got to get to Roy, the movie guy, don't we?
We had some email to get to.
Email.
Well.
I forgot
But we're
about
not going to do email this time.
We're not?
No.
Oh, my.
No, we've had for the last few days, and we will have all the way up to this weekend when we have the Murrah Building Marathon. Jack and I were, I could say, one of the first, if not the first individuals, as far as radio stations concerned, that were on the spot, just taking care of biz, and that's something that if you haven't had a chance, and I've had a chance to talk to some young people who don't understand the full implications that incident happened, that it provided. The horror, and it's like all over again. For about 3-4 years, I hosted the starting of the marathon,
right?
And they had a number of the people, the young kids who were there, who survived, and it was interesting. By third or fourth year, I'm looking, and they have grown so much,
right?
And I'll say this: they didn't look like they were wanting to relive this whole thing over.
Of course
again,
not. Nobody
again.
really does.
But at any rate, that's really special. It's in our history books now. As a matter of fact, there was one. I don't know if it's on HBO or some channel. They have one called the Oklahoma City bombing.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
It's really pretty good. Yeah.
Right. Well.
And Ron and I were down there the whole day, like Ron said. When it happened, Ron and I were broadcasting live at a Brahms ice cream and dairy store at 23rd and Broadway in Oklahoma City, which is just, 16 blocks from the bombing site. When that thing went off, the windows in that restaurant I thought were coming in. And coincidentally, at the time we were there doing the live broadcast, our morning show from that Brahms, we were interviewing firefighters about springtime fire safety, outdoor grilling, that sort of thing, campfires and what have you. And then the bomb goes off. We're with firefighters when it happened, and within seconds, one of them comes running in and said a bomb went off at the Murrah Building, and we were just, the next thing you know, shuttled down to the site. I think Ron and I were down there 10, 12 hours a day, every day for a week or two, broadcasting live from the site, interviewing everybody from the mayor to the governor to the fire chief, John Hanson, those folks.
Yeah, it was one point. Now, Jack was at the studio, and I was down there, and I was interviewing. I think it was Don Nichols, it was Senator Nichols, and Frank Keating, and there was this guy, and Jack and I, as usual, we were talking back and forth, and there was this one guy that was trying to push me out of the way, and
because he was from New York and thought, "Oh, hey, we're big time. We're New York."
That's exactly what he said. Well, I'm trying to get this story. I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a damn where you're from.
I don't care if you're from New Zealand.
And so Jack was listening to this, and all this was going over the air, by the way, folks. And Jack was saying, kick his ass. Kick his ass.
I
right
remember
now.
that.
Kick his ass.
I was so aggravated by the fact that this guy from New York and one of the broadcast outlets thought he could take precedent over the people who had been here all these years broadcasting and had developed a relationship with the community, and so anyway, I just got a little frustrated with him. I said, Ron, just kick his ass.
Yeah.
We said it on the air, and I know some people were like, well, that's not very hospitable, and other people were like, kick him.
This is anyway. Anyway, that handles the email. That was such a special event. That
it was.
Man, so much. Some people I know some people were killed in that, and of course, and there are still investigations going on, and there are things that have not been completely cleared, but we'll check that out. But at any rate, let's go.
I wanted to make one other mention too, and that was if I can remember, my mind is like all of a sudden forgetting what it was I was just about to say. That event was one. Oh, I remember when Ron and I were down there for 10, 12 hours a day for days on end. Somebody said to me, well, how come you're the only ones do? The problem was Ron and I both have journalistic backgrounds, journalistic degrees, whatever you want to refer to it as. The other people on the air, and this was nothing against the other on-air talent at the radio station we worked at the time, which was KISS FM, they were predominantly what they call in the business time and temp jocks. They come on, they give you the time, the temp, and then they tell you, hey, coming up next, Taylor Swift, followed by, Cher or whatever. They weren't necessarily inclined. They didn't have the background to go down there and interview all these dignitaries and sit there and describe what was going on and do what was, what needed to be done.
They didn't have the knowledge,
Yeah.
nor did they have the sensitivity
Or
to
the
go
experience,
ahead and
yeah.
put it together. So
that's why we were doing 10 and 12-hour days down there. Anyway, I'm not patting us on the back. I'm just saying that I was questioned by a number of people.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how come you guys had to do all of that?
Well, for one thing, we wanted to. We needed
Sure.
to. We were letting folks know where they could go and donate blood
Right.
and what have you, because most of the regular places that you would donate blood were packed. Folks were lined up. You would not believe people wanting to help. And anyway,
It was long ago, and it's 30 years anniversary now. But it's always at times interesting to share our moments for people who maybe weren't living here at the time or were so young they don't really remember all of it. Okay, now we got to get to Roy. Isn't it Roy time?
Yep.
Hey,
right, Roy, bring it on.
Come on, Roy, the movie guy.
Thank you, guys. Hope everybody had a great Easter weekend. Congratulations for the Thunder for blowing out Memphis. That was awesome to see. Now let's talk about what's opening up this weekend at the box office. But first, some numbers. Coming in at number 5 was Warfare with $4.9 million. The Amateur at number 4 with $7.2 million. The King of Kings came in at number 3 with $17.3 million. A Minecraft movie came in at number 2 with $41.3 million. And your new number 1 movie, Sinners. With $45.6 million at the box office. Now let's talk about what's opening up this weekend at the box office. We have 2 titles to mention. The first one is called Until Dawn, starring Ella Rubin, Peter Stormare, and Maya Mitchell. 1 year after her sister disappeared, Clover and her friends head to the remote valley where she vanished to search for answers. Exploring an abandoned visitor center, they soon encounter a masked killer who murders them one by one.
Cool.
However, when they mysteriously wake up at the beginning of the same night, they're forced to relive the terror over and over again. Rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes long. Up next, we have The Accountant 2, starring Ben Affleck and John Bernthal. Forensic accountant Christian Wolf teams up with his estranged but highly lethal brother to track down a mysterious assassin. Rated R with a runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes long. And that's a look at what's opening up this weekend at the box office. Back to you guys in the studio.
He mentioned that one movie where they went back to where their friend disappeared.
Yeah.
And then they don't have problems. If it's a mystery, somebody's probably dead, that your friend has disappeared. Why do you want to go there?
Yeah.
Why would you want to spend your time trying to do something that the cops couldn't do? Find out what happened to your friend.
Very good point. All right. Let's see. We got to get to some more audio.
Miss Paula.
Yeah. Quite often, our number one radio show would have various celebrities show up. One frequent visitor, Food Network's Paula Deen, the queen of the Food Network at the time.
Oh, there's another lady. What's the other hotshot?
Giada De Laurentiis?
No.
Martha Stewart?
That's right. Martha Stewart and another guy are going to have their own show.
Yeah.
Similar to
it's called
Gordon Ramsay's
Yes
deal.
Chef.
Yeah,
Yes Chef.
Yes,
That's
Chef.
it.
Yes,
I want
Chef.
it. Yes Chef.
Don't,
Yes Chef.
Quit burning that over there.
Yes, Chef.
Yes, Chef.
Get your foot out of the porridge. Yes, Chef. Okay. Anyway, the queen of the Food Network, on this occasion, she wanted to talk about watching soccer on TV. Paula Deen wanted to talk about soccer. And, of course, she also had a great recipe to feature during soccer games. Here is Paula Deen.
Hi, y'all. It's me, Paula Deen from the Food Network. I'm so excited. I love warm weather, and I love the upcoming weekend. I've been watching that soccer stuff. You been watching soccer, the big games?
No.
World Cup?
No.
Oh, it's so exciting. I love soccer, and my two boys, Juniper and Bisco,
Excuse me, Paula, just for a moment. Maybe you've been watching too much because you seem to have forgotten your son's names. Again.
Not again.
That's Jamie.
Jamie?
Bobby.
Bobby.
Okay.
Oh, those are my boys.
Pretty,
Okay.
a couple of normal sounding names and not like you got something from the Twilight Zone.
It just slips my mind.
Do you drink, Paula?
Ever so often. What?
We'll figure out what you call often.
Oh, okay. All right. I like Patron. Oh, I drink that straight from the bottle. Patron Silver. I love that stuff.
Really?
Oh, gosh, yeah. I love tequila. So smooth, Patron. Oh, smooth as a baby's behind. Anyway, I like the soccer, too. In fact, I'll have a shot or two. I'll have a blast or two while I'm watching soccer. And
a blast or two?
Yeah. And my boys, whatever the hell their names are, they love
Jamie and Bobby.
That's it. They love playing the game. They love running with their other players in their tight little shorts and those fun little shoes with the spikes. And I like watching soccer with my two boys. And when we're watching World Cup soccer, my boys, who are in their 30s or 40s, they like to eat something special that Mama Deen puts together, a Mama Deen snack. So here's what I like to prepare. Y'all going to love this recipe. And they love it, too. This recipe is called Paula Deen's Banana Cucumber Cottage Cheese and Meat Pie. Oh, Mama, you are going to love it.
My stomach just did a flip-flop.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, but I mean a flip-flop like it wants to empty what it has in it right now listening to that. Ugh, Paula, are you kidding me?
Come on, Paula Deen's Banana Cucumber Cottage Cheese and Meat Pie. Here's what we do. We start by melting 14 sticks of butter.
14?
In a large skillet.
What are you cooking? 14 sticks of butter?
You want your meat to swim in that butter and get all that flavor.
It's going to drown in that butter. But go ahead.
I want it to look like the big floods we had the other day. So we take 14 sticks of butter and melt it in a large skillet, and we toss in 3 pounds of ground chuck in that skillet. Ground chuck. Poor Chuck. Wonder how he feels about that. We toss it in, and then we toss in about 2 cups of chopped onion. And then when the onion is translucent and the meat is brown, I like that word translucent, don't you? Make me sound real important. Anyway, when the onion is translucent and the meat is brown, we transfer it to a large baking dish.
Of course.
And in that baking dish, with that browned meat and the translucent onion, we put 3 sliced up bananas and 3 sliced up cucumbers. And then on top of the meat and the onion and the cucumbers and all, we put that over the whole thing. And then on top of all of it, a 14-ounce tub of cottage cheese. Then we cover the top.
How many people are you feeding?
My boys are big eaters. And then over the top of that, you know those sheets of dough you can buy in the refrigerated section? It's like for pie crust, but it's real thin sheets of dough. Put it over the top of the entire, event, the entire dish, and stick it in the oven for like 20 minutes at 325. So good. When it comes out, you scoop a nice pile of that on each person's plate. Offer them some Fritos and Cheetos to sprinkle over the top. And wow, what a feast you've got.
Yeah.
I promise.
I'll bet. Now, see, if that was at my house, I'd be calling and ordering in a pizza.
Now, that's what you eat, though, when you're watching World Cup soccer. And by the way, here's something I learned yesterday. Do you know why an old bra and a bad soccer team are similar? You know why?
Why?
No cup and no support. I thought I'd throw that out there because I thought I'd be a funny one this morning and bring you a little comedy. Mama Dean made it funny. You get
Lord
it?
have mercy.
I got to run. My boys are downstairs in the car waiting for me to take them to Pelican Bay to go swimming, and I told them to behave. We got kicked out yesterday.
And you're going back again today.
Yeah, see if we can get back in. We got kicked out yesterday. My boys kept farting in the pool. We better run. Bye, y'all.
There you go. All right. I know we're running short on time. I thought we'd get. Let me see. What do we got here on the list? I was thinking news of the Albee Dam is really short today, so I can nail that.
All right, and I can definitely dump some.
Then I can dump
here.
the dumbass joke of the day if you want. No, he says no. All right. Well, here we go. This is news with the Albee Dam. How about that? All right, here we go. Apparently, some folks went to a pizza restaurant in Indiana, and they were not real happy about. Apparently, they ordered a certain beer, and the beer they received they believed was not the beer they ordered. Anyway, so they complained about it. Well, guess what? When they got the receipt, they were charged $5 for complaining. And I don't know if you can see this on there or not, but it says bitching fee, $5. They got charged $5 bitching fee. Look at that right there on the.
You know, all I can say is this must be a terrible restaurant or whatever, because you can actually put that. They have that. They must be getting a lot of.
They must get a lot of complaints.
Yeah,
bitching fee,
bitching about
$5. So I had to throw that out there. So there's your news of the Albee Dam. What do you want to move on to next? We've got more audio, but we don't need to use that audio. I can save it for next week if you want it.
I can do just a couple of stories, 2 or 3 for. Your New York Hollywood update. Ben Affleck says.
Wait. Go ahead and say the mic.
What's that?
What?
We gotta say what round we getting on?
Are we getting under the sleazy, trashy showbiz report?
Okay.
All right.
Sorry,
Ron.
we need to. Sorry, Ron.
Yeah. No, that's okay. You
makes my nipples.
Trashy showbiz report.
There you go.
Okay. Now I really feel sleazy.
I like those parts for editing too.
Okay. Ben Affleck says he adores Jennifer Lopez.
Well, I would too.
And even took her kids to his latest movie, Accountant 2.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, just the kids now.
Not her?
Not her. Not the one he adores.
Wow.
The one lady he's been spending a lot of time with, Jennifer Garner, she spent time with her boyfriend, so that sort of kills the fact that they may be getting back together. Selena Gomez caused some controversy when, while doing a publicity shot, she left some KY jelly in the picture. It was up on
what kind of publicity shot requires KY jelly?
It does. She was on a couch under this window, and she had a number of different things. I don't know, whatever a woman uses.
Like what? With KY?
Put on her face.
Maybe she used it for like skin lubrication.
That's what they said. It was a lubricant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Moisturizer. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like that lubricant. That's
What's wrong with oil of Olay? But anyway,
it's not just not.
Just not the same.
No. Is that what you? Oh, okay, never mind. And by the way, finally, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour is about ready to get underway.
All right.
And they say they have thousands of tickets still available.
Yeah, sound about right.
Well, you know, the country and Western folk.
They don't.
Beyonce. I don't know. Look, I just got through paying $1,100 for Taylor Swift.
I think people are getting a little tired of paying so much for concert tickets because Coldplay, which is a fairly popular pop rock, whatever genre you want to call, Coldplay's having a hell of a time selling tickets right now.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. With as many people that you can now see, especially if you have a nice big screen, you can sit there and watch the concert right there without elbowing people, and it's like I think people have finally had it up to here.
The only place I've heard and talked to a number of people who were willing to pay the amount of money, which is still high, is to go to the Sphere in Vegas and see a performance. Everybody I've talked to has gone to see the Eagles, and they're saying it's phenomenal because it's like surround sound, everything that the song is saying or whatever it's doing, and so they say you don't even watch the band because you're paying so much attention to everything else. All right, we got to move along.
Well, you've seen that band, and they're happy you're not watching them. As old as they are now.
Time for
Dumbass joke of the day.
Here we go.
Maybe just give us one.
One? Okay.
Yeah,
just one. Holy cow.
I like 3, but Ron's trying to rush. I can see in his eyes.
We're trying to get through. But you know what? I'm looking here. They're all pretty short.
Yeah, let's do it then.
All right. Once again, we have 3 very cheesy jokes. We ask Ron to pick one of those jokes, so he gets to pick his cheese. 3 jokes. The young boy, the road trip, the employee. Again, the young boy, the road trip, the employee.
Reminds me of those days. Let's go with the young boy, shall
All
we?
right. 8-year-old boy, never spoken a word in his entire life. One afternoon, he sat there eating his lunch. He turned to his mother and said, "The soup is cold." His mother goes, "Wait, son, I've waited so long to hear you speak. All these years, you've never said a thing. Why did you speak now? Why haven't you spoken before?" And he said, "Well, up until now, everything was satisfactory."
Oh.
Okay. I got another one. Here we go. Hurry, hurry. Wife and husband, they take a long leisurely drive out in the country. They pull over to fill the car's gas tank and then check the tires. The wife was surprised to see the gas station charged a fee to fill the tires and asked her husband, "Why in the world do they charge for air?" Husband said, "Inflation." One more.
Oh.
One more.
Wait a minute.
A guy's boss at work is honest with him. The boss, pulled in to work with his brand new, sweet-looking Ferrari. And this guy, the worker, complimented the boss on that Ferrari. And the boss said, "Well, you know what? If you work hard, set goals, stay determined, and put in long hours, I can get an even better one next year." There you go.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right.
Finish strong.
There you go. Finish strong. All right, we got to wrap it up with Tri-Bond, then 2 Tough Trivia. Is that where we're going?
That's how we're going to do it, my friend.
All right, Tri-Bond from last week.
Yeah.
We gave you 7 days to think about this one.
Get that 5-speed going.
We got tissue, face, emotional. Tissue, face, emotional. Those are your 3 words. You got to come up with one word. One word that works with those 3.
Say it again.
Tissue, face, emotional. Anybody?
Makeup.
Makeup? No.
Clear.
No.
Clean.
No.
You took all my guesses. So
I knew I did. That's why I was.
The word is scar. Scar tissue, scar face, emotional scar.
Emotional scar.
There you go. I knew that. Now this one.
I saw that somewhere, and I can't remember where I saw it.
On his sheet of paper.
Maybe it was in a dream. Maybe it was on my paperwork.
No, it wasn't there. It was, man.
Scarface.
If I ever get to the point where I start seeing stuff ahead of time, boy, you guys are in trouble.
You're a Nostradamus kind of guy. All right. Tri-Bond for this week. You'll have 7 days to think about it. Come back next week and give us the answer. Oh, and this one, I promise, a 3-legged dog with no tail and an eye patch could get this. It's that simple. A chicken with no pecker will get this. If you don't get this one, then you probably don't belong playing Tri-Bond.
It's chicken.
The 3 words: bottom, door, tower.
Bottom,
door, tower. Bottom, door, tower. All right. You've got 7 days to think about it and come back with the answer. That's bottom, door, tower. Woo! All right. We got to get to 2 Tough Trivia to wrap this thing up.
All right. The question, the big Trevi Fountain in Rome, that big, huge one where folks think they get their wishes, make their wishes come true by throwing change in there. How much change is thrown into this fountain per year?
I said 174.
I originally said 250,000, but I think now it's more like 300,000. But we'll go with 250.
250,000.
Yeah.
What about you?
174.
104. Both of you are so far off.
More or less.
More.
Oh wow.
How much?
$1.5 million.
Wow, I had no idea it'd
That
be
was
that
just
much.
I think what was this? Was it $14,000? Was that a day, a week, something like that?
It's crazy.
But it's $1.5 million a year is the amount of change thrown in.
That's just waste money. That's not even.
You know,
that's not even charity.
Yeah, that's
just
folks
waste.
coming at, You got a quarter? Yeah, let me throw a quarter in there.
I got to tell you, I've got a small fountain right out in front of my house.
You need to make money off of it.
I have a
Jay.
small fountain out there.
You
You're welcome to come by and
put it right in front of Othello's.
Make a wish, throw your money in there. You just come by my house.
But you got to make a wish, though. That's what people do. They make a wish.
They make a wish and throw the money in my fountain.
Okay, my wish better come true. I'm coming for a withdrawal.
All right, well, there you go. I guess we got to wrap this thing up and get out of here because we're over the time limit at this point. We've gone about 5 minutes over. Anyway, we got to thank the great folks with Howard Harris Funeral Services.
Oh, yes. She's watching right now.
Oh.
Why Howard Harris is watching. Peace.
Give her a call. Set up your final journey. Estate planning, wills, all that good stuff. They do it all. We also have to mention Jack Attack. Clean and shine. The one product for your vehicle. Inside and out, it'll do it all. Go to shopjackattack.com. Shopjackattack.com. Get yourself a bottle. Also, thanks to the fine folks at Othello's Italian Restaurant. Not only the one here in Edmond, but the one on Campus Corner in downtown Norman.
Still can't believe they haven't thrown us out of here yet.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, come into Othello's for great Italian food. They open every day, 7 days a week at 4 p.m. Great Italian food. And if you're looking for breakfast, right next door, they also have part of the Othello's restaurant family around the corner.
Next
breakfast.
Week, I think I want to go ahead and treat you guys to breakfast.
All right.
But we'll all have to be here at the same time.
Okay. Got Aaron on TikTok and Kristen. Boy Aaron. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
And then who?
Yeah, boy.
And who else? Kristen on what? Chris M on YouTube. All right. Thank you guys for checking it out. We got to run. When you go out to do what you do, come on, be like Jack and Ron.
Why not?
Yeah. Be the best at what you do. Like Jack and Ron, be the very best. Go out there, give it 110, 120, 130% effort like Jack and Ron. Go out there, give it hell.
Bye-bye, everybody.